one of the key things about growing an ecosystem is that we have to move fast and make sure that we provide the right opportunity at the right time. The idea of an ecosystem is that it interacts with other local ecosystems, regionally, globally. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Similarly, it takes all our partners to work together to grow this ecosystem.
Kerancakan Sarawak dalam usaha mencapai status sebuah negeri digital pada tahun 2030 telah merangsang perkembangan usahawan-usahawan tempatan untuk mencuburi bidang perniagaan digital. Ekosistem inovasi yang semakin berkembang menjadi penunjuk bahawa masyarakat di Sarawak sudah menerima gaya hidup yang berteraskan digital. Bagi memastikan ekosistem ini dapat berfungsi dengan lebih berkesan, Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation atau SDEC telah diwujudkan supaya peluang serta bimbingan dapat diberikan secara saksama di kalangan masyarakat di negeri ini.
Innovation to me is doing something new, not necessarily unique, but maybe unique to that situation where you're doing something that can have a bigger impact, ideally. And you're not doing the same old thing, but you're doing something that can yield greater results. And hopefully, and most of the time, these are newer things, whether it's new technology, new business processes, new tools that you use for the work that you do. And these are the innovation areas that we look into. One of the key things about innovation that we're talking about is that it can be taught. That's why when we talk about innovation from primary schools, through STEM programs, through secondary schools, through universities, to the public or private sector. As a whole, as a journey of innovation, you're taking something that you develop and hone and try out and test that can yield greater results and greater impact, positive impact to the community, to yourself, to your business, to your organization, to the public. In Peter Cohen's book, Startup Cities, he talks about 4 areas to create an innovation ecosystem or innovative ecosystem. The first one is government support or policies. Right? The second one is universities that come up with R&D that produce innovative technology. The third one is entrepreneurs, because innovation doesn't exist on its own, right? How do you market it? How do you scale it? How do you actually disseminate to the market? It's through entrepreneurship. And the fourth one is funding opportunities. To bankroll or fund or kickstart that business and scale. So these are the 4 main areas that we look at first. But we would concede that there's actually a 5th area that would actually help an innovation system or an ecosystem grow. And that is the ecosystem builders. They're like the little elves that sort of work in the background to connect all these 4 areas together. And that's what we see our role as. Trying to grow that ecosystem, to provide more funding opportunities, whether directly from us or growing the community of investors that will invest in your entrepreneurs, providing the right training to upskill entrepreneurs, supporting the universities to grow innovation, whether they come from the labs or even student-run projects, final year projects that can be turned into a business. And lastly, maybe working together with the government to have the right policies. How do we attract talent? How do we grow talent? How do we grow innovation talent? How do we grow entrepreneurship talent? How do we make it easier for people to start a business? How do we make it easier for businesses to scale? So these are the areas we look at, and these are the areas that we see is important to have a thriving ecosystem, innovation ecosystem in Sarawak. The good work that's been done by iCube, by Tegas, by SMA, we're working with that and we're building on top of that together with them. And we do see, I guess, greater participation. Right now, when I joined the ecosystem, the work of building the ecosystem, we had 2 innovation hubs. Now we have 8 innovation hubs running. 2 of them are running mostly virtual based programs because of the pandemic. But we do not see a drop. Actually, we see an increase in participation because of particularly doing things online. People have more leeway or more opportunity to actually join a program. Let's say the program is run in Cebu or in Bintulu or in Sarike even. The access to the market of potential people participating has now increased throughout anywhere from the state, right? You can actually join that program. So we actually have seen increased participation. Overall, since the whole thing was sort of kicked off formally, we've run over 200 different programs, and this includes like high-end or long-term multi-month accelerator programs, as well as once-off workshops on, say, digital marketing, digitalizing your business, business model canvas, so things like that, right? And we've seen close to 10,000 unique participants throughout these programs run by our partners in the state. And we see this as an encouraging indicator that there is a hunger to participate, to upskill yourself, to find a way to grow your business. When we talk about the ecosystem, within the ecosystem, right, any business endeavor is our stakeholder. Where we focus on, particularly in innovation entrepreneurship, are 6 areas. The first one is STEM, science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. It's focused on working with our STEM providers to complement our education system and providing the right innovation education to our kids. And we work with several ed tech startups, education technology startups, to provide that service, as well as ensuring that the impact is felt by students across the board, across demographics, across divisions. To that end, we have made sure that our programs actually cater to specific demographics that are underrepresented. We have seen an increase in participation of girls in robotics and coding programs. We've done our best to make sure that at least half of the schools, the new schools that join the program each year, are from rural schools. And we've also organized specific programs to cater to those demographics. Even I think currently what's ongoing right now is a girls coding program, specifically targeting an underrepresented demographic within the STEM programs. The second part is tech startup. So that's sort of the main bread and butter of the innovation ecosystem. Innovative tech that can scale and that can create big impact. Right? These are the 2 areas that when we talk about tech startups, the scalability and the innovation impact potential. The third one is digitalizing business. So in terms of entrepreneurs, the majority of entrepreneurs will fall under this category. How do we digitize or digitalize businesses? How do we enable them to scale further utilizing digital tools? So we're running several programs with Bintred to this end. I believe at the federal level, there are many programs in this vein. Those that provide telecommunication support, training, ed credits, we provide these. And what we're adding that may not be available to some other programs is the mentorship. Because you don't just provide tools and then expect people to pick it up and go, right? You'd have to provide some sort of guidance, especially when we talk about businesses that may be not so familiar with using digital tools. So that's where we come in, and we want to provide that added value service to make sure that at least for the first couple of batches, there is some hand-holding to make sure that you want to give the entrepreneurs who are new to using tools, who are new to starting a Facebook page or Instagram page to market their business or to use Google Ads, you want to provide them the right support to give them the highest chance to succeed, right? And then there's a new area that we're looking into, and I believe some of it's actually triggered by a local player within the ecosystem, Austral Media, because they have started the initiative to highlight social entrepreneurship in the state, and we welcome that. See, we welcome this kind of examples of private sector initiative to grow the ecosystem. And what we've done is we want to actually we're identifying state partners that actually work together with us. How do we actually scale and provide the right opportunity and support for their area? Artisan is also another area of entrepreneurship that we look into because that is an area of entrepreneurship that leverages on our unique cultural identity, right? Over 26, 27 different ethnicities in Sarawak, each with our own cultural history and story to tell. And how do we make sure that the stories that we tell are the right stories? And how do we commercialize it? That means, in a sense, to provide economic opportunity for the practitioners. So we have to respect our culture, but how do we also commercialize it in the sense that it will also help to sustain the culture? And lastly, and I think this is an area that what you guys are doing, going to, is digital creatives. We want to be able to produce digital talents and businesses that can become content creators, production houses, and also grow that segment of the ecosystem and become sustainable in its own, right? And the end goal of all this is that all the types of entrepreneurs that we talk about are supported by tech, are supported by innovation, are supported by technology, and that they can grow and then become the shining examples that will inspire other entrepreneurs to go down that route, right? We're trying to fill in the gaps here, and we work with every partner that we can to actually grow that ecosystem. So one startup I'd like to highlight is Solaku. They run WeGo, a last mile delivery or super app platform. When you talk about super apps, we normally talk about, say, the big players, right? You've got Grab, for example, that only run in the major cities in Sarawak, Kuching, Bintulu, Miri. But WeGo serves sort of the central area, the more underserved towns. So it's a niche market for sure, yes, but they're providing that service and solution in these areas, right? And I think that's the beauty of it. Sure, you got big players coming in and then providing that service, which is great, but at the same time, there's still room for our own local players to identify those niche markets, especially in more remote or rural areas that are underserved by these big services, and they can still run their business to support these areas. And I think as local companies, we do have the local knowledge to tailor best for our local market. You don't have to compete in the same market, right? You can provide similar services in other markets. That's also an innovative way of thinking how to grow that business, right? It's not just all techs and gadgets. Sometimes it is about finding an innovative solution to a problem, right? That can help your business grow, and at the same time, you are able to provide jobs to our fellow Sarawakians in more remote areas, and those are the kind of startups that we want to support, right? And that we want to work together with to create that impact for Sarawak. We're also currently working with Pustaka, who's taking an SMA, they take lead on the digital inclusivity program to make sure that the programs that we've been running at our digital innovation hubs are also available at the digital community centers. We're also in talks with MCMC, who run PIKs, to make sure that there's also a synergy between the Pusat Internet community as well as the digital community centers, because all in the goal to make sure that whether the STEM programs or the artisan entrepreneur program, social entrepreneurship, digitalizing business, tech startups, all these opportunities are available throughout Sarawak, regardless of which district, which division you're from, whether you're in the city or in urban area or in the rural area. As long as you're a Sarawakian and you have an idea, you will be provided the opportunity to test out your idea, to grow your business, and to scale. I think at the end of the day, it is all about providing opportunities, especially in the innovation and digital and tech area, and we're all for that. And luckily, we've been entrusted by the state government to support SMA for some of the telecommunications initiative, and I think it's coming at the right time because a lot of the initiatives do require some infrastructure support, right? A support network, whether it's entrepreneurship groups or clubs or even infrastructure, actual telecommunications infrastructure to help your business grow. So that is the beauty of that ecosystem. It all matches together. Nobody owns the ecosystem. The ecosystem is I think, something that exists with or without us. And let's say if you talk about Silicon Valley, I think that's the most used example of a thriving innovation ecosystem. Silicon Valley is not one organization or one company or one accelerator or one startup, right? It is a thriving, living thing with many, many players playing different roles. We see ourselves as the catalyst of the ecosystem, working together hand in hand with our partners to grow the ecosystem, to make sure that there are the right opportunities available to the right startups or entrepreneurs at the right time. So that's what we see our role. Of course, the ecosystem, the growth of the ecosystem in Sarawak predates us. When you talk about entrepreneurship, for example, it is an age-old occupation that has existed from barter trade thousands of years ago. But when we talk about an ecosystem now, in Sarawak, an innovation ecosystem, there are forerunners, people that have established or started to kickstart the ecosystem in Sarawak several years ago. An easy example is iCube Innovation from the private sector. I think they're the ones that sort of led the pack in terms of setting up an innovation space in Kuching, in Sarike. And then of course there's TVS. They run several amazing programs, several pre-accelerators. It is only a bit later when SMA, Sarawak Multimedia Authority, was created, and then subsequently Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation, where the role of being the catalyst of the ecosystem, that mandate was handed over from the government to SDEC to sort of grow that ecosystem even further. Right? So so there are many partners that are actually working together to build and grow that ecosystem. So from Sarawak alone, there are already several partners, particularly those that work together with us to run the innovation hubs, digital innovation hubs across the state. Chiefly, it's TVS, iCube, SMG, Serba Dynamic. Serba Dynamic is interesting because it is the first public-private partnership in terms of co-funding a hub, and that's in Samarahan through their Serba X. Further beyond our shores, at the federal level, we work together with several federal institutions, including the MTDC, Malaysian Technology Development Corporation. We've had engagements with MAGIC and with MDEC. And we also currently are working with Cradle. Previously, we worked with Cradle, together with Cradle for the National My Hackathon program, where I believe your previous interviewee, Neon AI, was part of. And we're currently working also with MBAN, Malaysian Business Angel Network, to grow the local angel investor community in Sarawak. So beyond Malaysia, we're working with several partners to even further grow that ecosystem. Chiefly, we're working with Startup Commons, an organization based in Finland, because they are the subject matter expert when it comes to growing an ecosystem and measuring and tracking the progress of an ecosystem. So working closely with them. Facebook is establishing a service here in Sarawak. So that's together with the iKeep Innovation. And we are also working with several e-commerce platforms to provide an outlet for our entrepreneurs to grow and scale. I think I can talk about Shopee. This includes Shopee. So that's an upcoming partnership that we will announce very soon. One of the key things about growing an ecosystem is that we have to move fast and make sure that we provide the right opportunity at the right time, because we're talking about businesses here, right? Entrepreneurs. Sometimes the right idea might come after the opportunity has passed. So we want to be able to support our entrepreneurs at the right time. So this is where our partnership with Shopee comes in, because we already have entrepreneurs who are selling things online. And Shopee is one of the top e-commerce platform when it comes to market size or market capitalization. So we are working with them in a way to actually support our Sarawakian entrepreneurs already on the platform and those that are coming onto the platform to make sure that their products are more competitive when it comes to the market, because things are more expensive, I guess, when you buy from Sarawak because of logistics and things like that. So we're trying to sort of level the playing field to make sure that our local products reach a wider market in Malaysia and outside of Malaysia. So by 2030, we envision that the whole ecosystem would have grown organically and also be on autopilot. That you don't need an ecosystem coordinator, right, or catalyst, because the ecosystem is catalyzed and it is growing on its own with the private sector partners running incubation programs, accelerator programs, investors just really fighting amongst themselves to invest in our local startups that have so much potential. Our research and development at universities will be known and impactful worldwide. Our innovation hubs and digital village thriving with innovators. Our students winning international prizes even more so than they are now. And Sarawak Digital, right, or Sarawak as our state is known as the tech hub in the region, that people want to start their businesses here, that people want to set up their companies here, their headquarters here, and hire our local talents, right? That's what I envision. What we will hopefully be in a few years' time, 2030, right? Everyone working together and everyone benefiting. We want to grow the ecosystem and then grow the private sector to make sure that there is an opportunity available to anyone with merit, anyone with any innovative idea, to be able to start their business, grow their business, scale, expand, hire, expand, and succeed. I think that's what we see in 2030. We do know that Sarawak has produced a lot of talents, and a lot of these talents are either here or abroad, and making a name for themselves, right? I think now is an exciting time to come back and give back. We do see that there's lots of opportunities coming up. These are initiatives by the state government in terms of providing more opportunities for talented Sarawakians to succeed and thrive and leave their mark. I mean, recently, of course, you've got TVS being established under SMG. You've got Petros, our own oil and gas firm. You've got DBOS. You've got the Sarawak Metro. I mean, all these amazing opportunities for talented Sarawakians to come back and give back to the state, right? And we want to expand even further because we want to grow this ecosystem. We want to provide these opportunities to all our fellow Sarawakians. And to do that, to achieve that vision of 2030 of having a thriving ecosystem in Sarawak, we need everyone to work together. We need all our partners to come in. If you've got an idea, come talk to us. If you've got an idea for whether innovation or you've got an idea to solve a specific problem, to address a specific challenge, come talk to us. Because it takes a village to raise a child, right? Similarly, it takes all our partners to work together to grow this ecosystem.
Pada pendapat saya, inovasi di kalangan belia adalah bagus untuk mengembangkan kreativiti dan potensi anak muda. Namun peluang untuk mereka melakukan inovasi adalah terhad. Jadi dalam zaman yang moden ini, anak muda perlu lebih kreatif dan open up untuk mengetengahkan idea dan potensi mereka untuk melahirkan usahawan-usahawan muda yang baru.
Inovasi dalam keusahawanan belia tu bagus sebab it works two ways. Yang muda mula inovasi, yang tua dapat kebaikan inovasi tu. Inovasi dalam kalangan belia tu bagus sebab apa? Kita terdiri dalam Malaysia tu kurang peluang pekerjaan. Jadi tidak belia tu dapat mengolah income tidaknya sendiri melalui inovasi. Bagus untuk orang tua dapat pendapatan untuk belia.